Good morning and welcome to the LA Artist Podcast. I am your host, Mr. David Rano, and today we have an artist that you've heard on the podcast before. We've been friends for a long time, Mr. Danny Moscoso.
Hey, hey.
How's it going? How's it going?
Good, good. Glad to be here.
Yes, welcome. And then we also have our co host, Mr. Andrew Ruano.
Yo.
He's over there in the corner because he's drinking all the whiskey. But yeah, let's get on into it. And then you are listening to the LA Artist Podcast, where we chat with local artists about their works, styles, what influenced them to start their artist journey, and more. Subscribe so you don't miss the latest episode. And to see bonus content, check out our website on the description below. This podcast is produced by Lorano Gallery, an LA-based gallery and studio space dedicated to showcase work from upcoming artists, as well as provide space for art shows, workshops, photo and film production. Feel free to check out the gallery at loranogallery.com. Yeah, welcome to the Lardist Podcast. This is season 2. Can you believe it's season 2?
Yeah,
right?
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy how, we did your episode last year around this time, where it was like early last year or something like that.
I think so.
And now we're doing it again. Like I said, Danny Moscoso also goes by Art by D-Mouse on the Instagrams and whatnots, and as well as the website, right?
Yes, artbydemos.com.
All the links will be in the description.
Is it Demos or Demos?
Demos.
Most.
It's Moscoso.
Because it's a single S.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, one question, or it's also a joke at the same time. Spoiler alert. Sorry, I just spoiled my own joke. Moscoso as in like the flies? Like a mosca?
I mean, I guess it has like some
Also?
derivative word,
So-
from or whatever, but
So is it like a bear that is a fly? Mosco
also, I'm not sure. I've looked at both of my families' like last names. All I could find is the Moscosos were some kind of violent, like territorial, like I don't know,
Bugs.
clans from Spain.
Okay.
And funny, like, and then on my mom's side, then it's Olivari, and they were like peaceful olive farmers.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Yeah, because like yourself and your parents are from what country again?
Peru.
Peru. I almost
Mhm.
said Chile, and I was like, I don't think it's Chile. But Peru.
Yeah.
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 And then because the Spaniards did were obviously in most of Central and South America.
I think they like passed by there at some
Yeah.
point.
Mhm.
Like,
Well, you did say the Moscosos were territorial, and they would just
right?
they just grab onto like little sections and whatnot.
It's
so.
funny. We've looked or my dad's looked up the meaning of our last name, Ruano, and I think it's like Spanish foot soldier or something like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
All these
it's-
Spanish people.
Yeah, for like a common foot soldier. So yeah, and I saw two possible lines or lineages. One was what you would call a common foot soldier,
Mhm.
and the other one was a king, but it was very vague as far as like that lineage. Weird.
I'll go with foot soldier.
Have you guys also done your like DNA, like ancestry?
I feel like
23andMe?
if
No,
we do our
no.
DNA thing, it'll just blow up because we have so much mixed blood in us,
Right.
Yeah,
which
But
is
it's super
cool though.
interesting, yeah.
which is really cool.
yeah. The only blood work I get was from the doctor for the most part. But yeah, no, it's even just from the tales of, my grandma, my great grandma, we were able to, be around our great grandparents and even their brothers and sisters in Mexico. So we kind of know, like seeing it almost firsthand, where we come from
Yeah.
and how like my great grandpa, we would call him Ñapa, he was a soldier during the war in Mexico, and so he was always upright and straight, but also had Spanish in his blood because he had light colored eyes. So he had I think like greenish or bluish colored eyes,
Green eyes.
and then versus my great grandma, she was more indigenous just because she was a lot shorter with a lot darker complexion, similar to us, maybe a little bit darker than what we are, but then you can see that. So it's like Spanish blood and then like indigenous Mexican blood, and
yeah.
but it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the family is crazy. Like if you look far back enough, it's such a melting pot. Even if you think, oh, I've been, first, second, third generation in the U.S., there's even more here. So yeah, but it's cool, you being from Peru, because you were born in Peru.
Yeah.
Have you done your DNA thingy?
Yeah, I have. And just to kind of put it, like, it's kind of an interesting, like, what you might pick up from, like, let's say I know of like stories where like somebody is raised thinking they're like Italian, and you're like whatever, and then you do one of those things and you find out like you don't have like
Not
any
an
Italian in
ounce-
you.
not
It
an
turns out
ounce
you're
of
Greek.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God,
Mhm.
like, and then how does that change everything about what you know about
Mm-hmm.
yourself? And but also like there were times that I got from it like, oh, maybe I always kind of felt a little
Mm-hmm.
towards this way or that way, or interested in this, or
Yeah.
this flavor. I was like, I wonder where that. Oh, maybe that's where that
Yeah.
came from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like even for my dad, he's from Guatemala. He was born in Guatemala, but his mom was from
Belize.
from Belize. Uh, and so it is one of those things where his mom was essentially from Belize, so she was black. So and that's where my dad has very curly hair, and like in some of the early pictures, like if it grows out, essentially he has almost like an afro.
Yeah,
Because it's very curly
of course.
and coarse. But yeah, so it is crazy how now looking at us, so we have Spanish blood, we have Mexican blood, we have Guatemalan blood, and Belize blood, and we're in LA.
Yeah, and all those things make up you. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
And we try to.
And I'm sure all those things show up in whatever it is you do.
Oh yeah,
too,
I'm pretty
Like,
sure we have like
'cause-
so many different
mhm.
ethnicities
Right.
in us,
Yeah.
which is like the best part.
Yeah.
And we always try to pay homage. Obviously try to learn our history.
Mm-hmm.
And because again, a lot of the history that I like to learn most of the time is the food. The food,
Yeah.
because the food can be passed on in a way that can can celebrate the culture.
Yeah. You can learn a lot.
You can
through-
learn a
through
lot.
food, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, and but yeah, and then from there the art, the
Art.
and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm like relearning how to like cook a really good hot dog, because that's my culture.
It's
That's my new
America.
culture.
It's the culture you were born into.
I think part of the interesting thing about us, or in people like us, people in our generation and so forth, is that we bring all these things, all these flavorings, if you will. But then now we have to then combine it with, like you're just as from LA as your roots to be from Guatemala. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and breathing here is just as part of, you know what I'm saying? So it's like combining both of those like worlds in a, way that, our parents never had that opportunity to
Yeah.
even,
Yeah, and I feel like that's one thing that our parents, like my brother and I, we're lucky to have that support from them, because there were musicians, there were other artists in our families. So like they see the value of what we're doing. It's not just, oh, go and make money. Like, no, it's like, if you like art, if you
Yeah.
want to do that, do
You guys
it.
have like the
And-
most artistic family, by the way. Like
Yeah.
everyone's an artisan.
Well, it's something that gives us joy.
Yeah, it's so awesome. It's like a family of musicians, you know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
guys all, I mean, it's the funniest thing is like each of them's like very different. You guys all help each other out, and there's times where like all those like bridges meet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your dad's knowledge of woodwork is very helpful to you, or what, you know what I'm saying? Like, and whatever, like then your mom like, you know, creates something that, you know, whatever, like, but you know, it's funny, like you guys all have each your own
It's
specialty.
it's a good little puzzle,
Yeah.
because like we can stand alone individually, but then you can put the pieces together for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, and so with a little bit of that in mind, like the backgrounds and our families and whatnot, do you see that influence in your art, or like in your creative thought and creative process?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what the point that, you know, the last thing I was saying is I feel like we are constantly connecting with all those things. And sometimes you might connect with them more or less as you find out more or less, or as you know, maybe you have to move from here and then you know, you connect with a different place, you know, whatever, or, you know, again, you find out, you know, you didn't know, like, oh, you were like, you know, Belizean as well, like, oh, and you know, with Black roots, like, oh, okay, and then again, you might be like, okay, you know what, maybe that's why I always, you know, was interested or felt this way or whatever, and maybe that's why, oh, you know what I mean, like you look at things, you know, it's funny, I'll look at things and I'll see like color patterns, things of tapestry of whatever, that I'm like, oh my god, like, or you know that, you know, looking through atlases, whatever, pictures, things that I'm like, oh, I wonder if, you know, I mean, I know I didn't just like imagine that up, but you know, it's funny to see like the connections of all those things. So, you know, there's it has to be that every little thing that, you know, makes me is, you know, brought into the gumbo of whatever it
Yeah.
is that,
Yeah.
you know, create.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even like I see that in your art, how like obviously you do a lot of musicians. You recreate portraits of a lot of musicians, and
Yeah.
even the musicians themselves, they have influences from their own families and their own backgrounds, and
Right.
and I love how you make that stand out.
Yeah.
It's not just a portrait,
Mm.
but they look not just amazing, because they are amazing, but like the one of Prince, like it has a lot of movement, a lot of emotion to it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, I feel like music is part of a little piece of the pie that makes me as well, you know. It's I would say my first love. So I have to represent it and express it in some sort of a way.
Yeah,
And then I bring my own little seasonings
yeah,
to it
your
and
little flair.
try to,
yeah.
you know, and I love color and I love trying to, you know, take something and try to see it in a different way or in a different light, you know, shine in a different way. And then I loved also like trying to like bring it to the forefront and, you know, like, because a lot of people might not be aware of certain people, and it's like, you know, you should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it is like even with that, are there any challenges that you face when you're trying to think of who's next? Like what other musician do you want to bring to
And it's
light?
like impossible because the list is so long and time is so short, you know. But you know, I keep like, you know, a list, and I have like folders of things uh you know, that might inspire me or whatever. And I already have things that I would like to do. They just sit there in the back burner, if you will, until I
Until you
pull
have
one
time.
out or whatever, or until somebody comes and commissions and is like, hey, how about this? And I'm like, okay, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it
That was
wasn't
on
the
the
next
list.
one on the list. It was like 399, but let's move them up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
That's cool.
yeah. I mean, I feel like they all need their flowers, if you will, and
Yeah.
so I'm happy to.
Yeah. And with your process, I think we talked a little bit about your process in the first episode that we did. But if anything, if you want to remind us, like what's your go-to medium when you do these pieces?
I mean, mostly acrylic as far as painting, and then I do a lot of pointillism stuff that, and most of that is it started as ink and marker, but it's it's moved on to digital now so that I can resize it and make it available in post. I mean, aftermarket or whatever you
Yeah.
want to call that. Yeah,
Commercialize it.
Yeah, commercialize
if you will.
Yeah, because
so that I can, make it available in a backpack.
yeah, I don't see a lot of, or like when you do shows, you don't take a lot of original pieces. But you do have like a lot of like canvas prints. And
Yeah.
I think it's having it digital helps it easier to be able to like print it on canvas rather than like have the original and then take a good picture and then print it on canvas. It's just
for sure. One of the things is a lot of the stuff comes and it's commission, and so I mean it gives, on one hand, it gives me a great opportunity to make something that isn't, and then I'll try to share it with everyone, and so I'll take an opportunity to be able to display it and give everyone or whatever the public a chance to be able to see it before it goes, in someone's, home and whatever. And then it's difficult, even as cool as they may be and as friends or, however, collectors, it's difficult to borrow an original back and, like for a later use.
Yeah.
So, but then, so, and then I'm trying to do a better job of recording or, photographing pieces and then finding better and better, prints, the canvases, or better ways to make those available again to display or to own.
Yeah, because you do, like Andy said, canvas prints on your website. You have it where essentially you can have phone cases and things like that. And
Yeah. I'm exploring that. I keep adding more, items little by little, and I mean, again, there's like so many artworks times so many different things that you can make available. So trying to make, little things. So trying different like clothing pieces. There's like like yoga pants and sports bras and bikinis and t-shirts and crop sweatshirts and sandal slides that are kind of cool. I got like the Bad Bunny, like the heart glasses that show right on the slides, or prints, or sneakers.
Oh yeah,
sneakers. I got the Prince sneakers, and those came out pretty.
Yeah, those are
pretty dope.
Sick,
so trying different things.
I can dig that.
Yeah. If I were, because like a lot of people ask me as well for my art, like, oh, you should do fabric. It'll be cool, like on a dress or a shirt, or it's like I don't see myself doing fashion yet. But the thing that's been like on my mind is like, I want to do socks with my robots. I think that would be sick.
That's cool. I like that.
Just, I mean, something, because it's easier for mass production, because there's, you could have like a little small, medium, large, or whatever, and instead of having so many like different sizes for shirts, different sizes, unless it's like print to order, but then again, that's way more expensive to order and all that. So it's like, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, because apparel it's a whole different industry. I do want to have somebody on the podcast that does that, so we can chit chat about it. But because there's so many different, not just sizes of shirts, but is it a unisex? Is it for male body types, for female body types? Different cuts, different seams. And do you want a V-neck? Do you want a crew neck? Do you short sleeve, long sleeve? And socks is like Okay, how big is your foot?
Yeah, it's like it's kid size, medium size, and then larger size. It's a little bit more simpler.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe doing like limited drops or something like that. But the thing is, for me, I don't really want to deal with inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
That-
I like to make it available. That's why I'm,
Mm-hmm.
on my website, you can go ahead and made to order and, be sent to you. But I
Yeah.
just can't see myself like
Yeah,
rifling through trying to find.
Yeah, that is true.
that is the other kicker.
Yeah.
That's definitely the other kicker on inventory. Because even when it comes to just having paintings, like you always want to create
Yeah.
and you always want to sell.
Yeah.
But if for some reason you find yourself in a lull and you're not selling but you're still creating, then you have a lot of canvases on your inventory, and then that can also, give you a sense of a burnout because it's like, what, I've created so much and then now I can't sell it,
Yeah. Yeah.
or I don't know where to sell it or whatever.
Yeah. It's true.
And yeah, with inventory, with products, it's like you don't want to overcommit yourself to buying a lot of product. Yes, you'll probably get it cheaper buying it in larger quantities, but then you'll be stuck with the product. And now you might have to end up selling it cheaper than you originally thought just to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And break even. And like what
Yeah. What
what's
was
the
it
point?
all about?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's obviously not the point.
Yeah.
But then, I do want to, trying to have things available at shows and things like that. Even if it's just like things that, people can see, like the possibilities or,
Mm-hmm.
what have you. So like, yeah, like I brought the sneakers. It's just even to like display,
Yeah.
Catch people's attention, ask whatever, get their curiosity peaking. Yeah.
And what kind of shoes were they?
I don't know, but you know what? The coolest thing is, because I use Printful artists. If you're looking to do those things, they will, they're the print on demand. They'll drop ship for you. That's who I use for my website. But then, also have to order samples and things so I could see what it is. So what brand they actually use for some of those things, I'm not sure. Some of them they will tell you, like you could pick say if you want a particular brand of t-shirts, you could pick between like a Gildan or a, Russell Athletics, or I don't know what the options are, but they give you those kinds of choices. I can't tell you what the sneakers are, but they will, like, you could brand things. So like the coolest thing is like, my brand is like in the, like the tag, and it's on the box, and it was, at this point my signature, but I'm probably going to change that. I'm creating a logo to try to put everything,
Yeah.
or whatever. And so I'll probably have to rechange that, but it's the coolest thing that you could choose to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, cuz oh, I think we're also using Printful for some of our merch. I'm starting to do some gallery merch and some largest podcast merch. Check it out in the description. Because it does make it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
To just, if somebody wants to buy it, great.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't want to buy it, just check it out. Sure.
Yeah.
And
so far, everything, again, I keep trying to check out the things that, I'm putting out there. I want to make sure that it's a good quality, or it's, what have you. And, or even that it looks right, like, oh, it needs to be readjusted, or, like, or what have you. But, everything I've so far have gotten from there, it's, it looks good. It meets my standards. It, customer service is, responsive, and I haven't had a bad situation. So
I can dig that. And do you have any either new products that you want to do or new projects that you're looking forward to do this year?
Well, just keep expanding the website and keeping, making inventory available in each piece. But and then, yeah, I mean, it's just really that I've been trying to rebrand and redo the website. So that's kind of the bigger goal, and really trying to, um, you know, grow the sales on it. This is one of my bigger goals this year. I would love to get that going, automated. So it gives me more opportunity to create and focus on other things.
I can do that.
So yeah,
That sounds fun.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I know rebranding is always hard,
mm-hmm.
just because like you're so used to either a specific logo or design or color palette,
Right.
and when you have to your rebrand is like starting over from scratch, and
Yeah, but I feel like it just, I want to put everything kind of together in one. Oh, sorry. Food's here.
yeah. Oh yeah. If that we can take a quick little break because we are gonna have food.
We'll be right back.
Food's gonna have we're gonna be live with food.
Do you still shoot with the film?
I still have my film cameras. I still shoot with film. For the most part, those I'll dedicate for more intimate, like portraits.
No, obviously
and
there's
stuff
only
like
so
that.
many,
Yeah.
shots you can take. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like I'm just thinking, it's like your typewriter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because of, like you said, you have to be intentional. You have to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and one's all you need, really, if you get the right one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like you said, you gotta like wait for that moment, have that eye, have that little
like, oh,
intuition.
Can you guys do that again?
You
I
know?
wasn't ready.
Right.
I wasn't ready.
It's like
where now it's like it's so easy. Like,
Pause.
just hey, there's 1,000 of them right there.
Mhm.
Then
One of those-
then
one
I
of
don't
those
even
is
care.
good.
I'll look at them later. No, I won't. I gotta.
Yeah.
There are 1,000 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do love, like, one of my favorite cameras that I own is the Mamiya RB67, which is a medium format camera. And each roll of 120 millimeter films, that big one,
Yeah.
I get 10 shots. I get 10 shots.
Wow.
That's all I get.
Yeah.
So the film roll itself costs about $20. So that's $2 a shot. And
to develop.
to develop it, depending on the film type that I use, can be like another $20 or $30. So most of the time,
Wow.
it's roughly $5,
$5
$6 a shot.
Picture.
And
Shot.
and
Wow.
so if I spend 30 minutes getting the shot or looking for the shot, focusing, make sure I get it, and I take it, and I fail, that's not just $5 down the drain, but that's also 30 minutes wasted,
Yeah.
plus the time that it takes to develop, plus the anticipation of like, will it, won't it,
Yeah.
and then it's definitely, you have to have patience,
Yeah.
and the artistry for it. It's, you do have to. That's how I hone my skills. Like, I shoot with film so I can learn patience and discipline. So when I do have a digital camera, I don't just shoot willy-nilly.
Yeah.
I use the patience and that discipline to make sure that I don't go home with 10,000 photos that I have to look through.
Yeah.
I'd rather have 300 great photos than 10,000 bad ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, that's the fun
Mhm.
part.
Yeah, and there's other parts to it too. I mean, I used to love it. I had a camera pretty young, a cheapie or whatever, but film and what have you. And I remember, you'd make mistakes and you learn from them. That sometimes the for whatever reason the thing would rewind and you'd be taking a picture over a picture and then
Yeah.
you get a double exposure or what have you, but it would like you get some like amazing looking things too, like
Yeah.
that
Uh,
you couldn't really have tried necessarily, and it just kind of happened to happen.
Yeah. And one of the things that a photographer once told me, and I find it to be true, when you take your time to take a photograph, not just a picture, but a photograph, you're capturing a moment that will no longer exist. If you take a photo of a flower, in a couple hours that flower will wither away, and you will have the only time, recorded that flower was in its prime.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
tomorrow it won't be there.
Yeah.
So and that's where the patience comes into play. Like, make sure that you capture the right moments, not just any moments.
Yeah.
Because once you capture the moment, that moment is gone. It's no longer exists. It
Yeah.
is forever gone.
Wow.
And the only thing that you have is the only thing that tells you that existed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you don't take your time and you take a crappy photo, then for all of eternity you'll have the memory of a crappy image that kind of, in a sense, dishonors the moment because you didn't take your time to appreciate it and stuff like that. So it was cool. It's
that is deep.
Yeah. That goes in even into just life in general. Like, just enjoy the moment. Whether it be a good moment or a bad moment. Like, just make sure you appreciate where you are, because tomorrow is going to be a different day.
Yeah.
And who was it? Chavo del Ocho. He was talking about like las memoria, like the memories, like things that you should keep and things that you should throw away. You shouldn't just keep everything. The same way, and his analogy was like, you don't just keep everything, because you have to pick and choose what you keep. Because you can't just keep trash. That trash belongs in the trash can, So you only keep good things in your house. The same way you keep good memories. But if you keep bad memories, then those bad memories are gonna keep reminding you of how you felt, which was bad.
That's true.
And those bad memories, just throw them away.
Yeah.
And keep the good memories. So when you remember those good memories, they'll make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's that aspect of.
It's very true. It's very true. And you gotta throw out the trash too.
You gotta throw out the trash.
Just piling up and
just
thinking up and taking up memory, or
just because you have a good memory doesn't mean you have to keep all of it.
Yeah.
Which is one thing I do have to do with even just because I have 40 terabytes worth of not
trash.
Not junk. No, it's just like photos throughout the years and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That I do have to go through and be like, that was. Again, you are listening to the largest podcast. I don't think any of them noticed that there was a glitch in the matrix, but it's okay. We're now talking about photography and the expansion of life. I do feel like NPR every now and again when I'm like, hello and welcome to the largest podcast.
Especially like the environment we are shooting at right now. It's like this outdoors with the heater on, a nice drink,
just warming you
chill
up.
Vibes. Yeah.
It's so artistically chill that I don't know, or it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about cameras, talking about life, talking about alcohol.
Oh, speaking of life and alcohol, Danny, any big projects that you're thinking of doing this year?
Well, there's a couple already that, like, again, hitting my next on my list, and one that itch I've been wanting to scratch for a while is a Ray Charles piece. And so I feel like he's up to bat, and I gotta just do that one. So I feel like he's gonna be up next.
Nice. Is it a big canvas, or is it?
I want to go big.
Or is it? It's not digital.
I want to go big. No, it'll be a painting.
Ooh.
It'll be yeah. So
cool.
At least 36 or.
Okay, yeah, that's a decent size.
At least. So I want
like this size.
Yeah, that Stevie painting, that's 24 by 36.
Yeah, 36, 24.
Yeah, at least. Yeah,
That's cool.
I want to go much bigger, maybe.
Bigger, 48.
Ooh, 48 would be
Yeah,
really
I
cool.
want to. Yeah.
48 by 60,
Mm.
4 by 5.
Mm-hmm.
That
I mean,
would be really cool.
sometimes Michaels has those like canvas deals.
Yeah.
So I
We-
think right now, as of this recording, they had like a 30% off
Mm.
of a canvas, which is
Yeah.
decent. It's not the best.
we-
Couple like 2 months ago, they had the 70% off,
Mm-hmm.
which is like
Yeah.
the ideal
Oh,
time to buy.
yeah, I was gonna say
I jumped on that
Bulk?
for sure.
no, as an
Artist tip: look out for those sales.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Michaels
Do
has
your shopping.
Michaels and Blick.
You
Sometimes they
know.
have their clearance
Yeah.
blowout end of the
Yes.
year type of thing.
Oh,
No,
dude.
I was gonna say like we might have some for sale too.
Mm.
I mean,
because we bought some.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, but we have those in reserve. though.
I went to Art Supply Warehouse in Westminster, and I saw that they had sketchbooks. It was two tiny sketchbooks,
Yeah.
4x6.
Yeah.
They had them at 2 sketchbooks for $5. And I was like, all right, that's cool. It was like nice, cheap sketchbooks.
Yeah.
And then I saw them and like, oh, this is pretty good quality. What's the retail price on it? $28 retail each.
What?
And they had them their end of the year.
Wow.
2 sketchbooks for $2.50 each book.
Wow. When they should have been $28
And then 28 retail.
each. Wow.
So I
That's
was like,
crazy.
I didn't come here for this, but
Again, do your due diligence
yeah.
and look for those
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah, and if you get a chance, you can do it with your email, or you even just make up a new email. Those sign up for the coupons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, they'll send you coupons, and then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they'll arrive at like 4 a.m. So you see them like bright and early, like oh they're starting their clearance sales and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And
Yeah, and not too many artists know, but if you are an artist that works a lot with canvases, Michael's their online store,
Mm-hmm.
they have bulk. It's like you
They
could
do,
you
they do
could
have
you
some
could
other
you,
stuff available that
yeah, you could buy in bulk.
Yeah.
And
Frames.
you don't
other things that-
you don't need like
Yeah.
seller's permit or merchants whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's for everybody. It's just
Yeah.
you buy 6 for a third of the cost.
Yeah.
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 yeah, because I think last time we calculated, it's roughly 60.
It's basically 66%.
Yeah, roughly
Mm.
66%
Wow.
when you buy it in bulk.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and we've seen it where like we will get canvases like this size 24 by 36 or 12 by 36, and we buy 6 or 12 of them for the same price as you would buy 3 of them
Hmm.
retail price.
Yeah.
And like the cost of it is but again, the kicker is always you have to buy in bulk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you will need inventory space.
Yeah.
As we
sure,
talked about
sure,
it.
sure.
And
Yeah, but I mean, if you do work a lot with it, if you do use it a lot, then it is worth it.
Absolutely.
And it's year round. You don't have to wait for when is it gonna be? No, it's always year round.
Yeah.
And then they also have a thing where like if you buy like more than $50, it's free shipping. So it's way better.
Yeah.
You don't even have to leave your home.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I try to take advantage of that, and
Yeah.
even the pickup, in store. Like they have it already.
Curbside yeah.
If
sure.
I know, obviously what I'm looking for,
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
I just swing by, grab it, go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know.
but if you just need like for a commission or for like
Yeah.
just one canvas, then just
Yeah.
wait for the coupons, wait for whenever they do their clearance, their sale. A lot of the times they have like buy one get 2 free
Yeah.
or something like that. So it's like there's always like people ask me like, where do you get your canvas? I get it at my Michaels. Isn't it kind of expensive? Like it is
Can
if
be.
you don't use your coupons.
Yeah.
yeah, it is one of those things where I feel like we're getting to the age where we have to make sure that coupons are good wherever it is that you go. But from art supply materials, even going to the groceries, like I find myself looking through the weekly ads for Vaughn's or for Ralph's or whatever. It's like, oh, cool, meat's on sale. Let's go get it. Like, take the coupon, because again, in the economy that we live now, it's you have to take advantage of it.
Dude, David, how much was that giant, like, ribeye roast beef?
Oh yeah, my fiance's sister, she bought a ribeye roast, like a huge chunk of meat.
Yeah.
And it's ribeye.
Yeah.
So it's good meat.
Yeah.
It was like at $6 a pound. Where if you get just a ribeye cut, it on average is around $15 a pound.
Wow.
But because it's bone in a huge bulk, essentially, you're not paying the workers to cut it for you. You just get the entire thing. And so for something that would cost like $200, $300, because it was a couple like 10 or 15 pounds or whatever, it was so cheap. And again, you have meat for days.
Yeah.
For days.
Wow.
And even for our parents' anniversary, we had we went to Smart and Final, and they had a tri-tip on sale. And essentially, because it was around $4.29 a pound for tri-tip.
Nice.
And
I love
I
tri-tip.
got 20 pounds of tri-tip.
Wow.
So it's like $90, but retail price, it's like $10. So it would have been $200,
right?
Or a little bit more than that. And
wow.
It was so good. We ate a lot.
Yeah.
So moral of the story, wait for the coupons.
Yes.
Don't just spend all willy-nilly.
Yeah. Whether meat or brushes.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I'll also check, like, when I'm at, the art store, Blick's or Michael's. But also, I have to do my due diligence and at least like check online or something, like compare.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
oh, you know
what? Sometimes we just like, whenever we see especially canvases. Oh, Michael has a 70% off canvases. We just message a whole bunch of art friends on Instagram. It's like, hey, dude,
they're on sale.
They're on sale this week.
Go get some. Go get some.
Right?
Because it is like, why not share it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or an idea is maybe get together with some friends and buy in bulk,
Yeah. That too. It's like, all right, this is what we accumulated. Who needs some? Like, Venmo each other, whatever portion is. Like, that's an interesting idea too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is one thing that's kind of floated through my mind. But again, it is one of those things where I already have a lot of things on my plate. But having like a small little store, like as part of the gallery, where I can buy it in bulk and then sell it to artists that I know may be struggling, or are looking for good quality but at a lower price.
Yeah.
And just
we buy it in bulk and then
or
resell it at
you're always
retail
in need
price.
of it anyway.
Sell it at retail price. Ha ha ha.
Because like, let's say, or even if like, you buy again. You're buying it in bulk and breaking it apart. You could buy like a large pack of markers, and it's like, I don't need all of them. I just need that blue. Like, oh, I could just sell you the blue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm breaking apart.
Yeah,
the thing
and that's really like because we do always need canvases. Yeah. So buying it in bulk, and getting that wholesale price, and then if somebody wants to buy it, just add essentially what it costs plus $10.
Yeah.
Just because we have it.
Yeah.
Because again, we don't need to make money off of it.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna use it. And if you want one,
here's the blue marker. It's $1 plus $10.
Yeah. Because we did all the work. This is America. But that way we just help each other out.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing, I'm just always looking at this medium here to talk about, advice for up and coming artists, like um to reinvest, to take, to think of like, oh, okay, cool, I sold this, print, or I sold a new piece, like, go ahead and take a significant amount of that to reinvest, to buy some more canvases so that you can then,
Yeah.
make more to, and I always do that. To try to things, to order, some other new product, some stickers, some, something, try something new, um,
Yeah, that's kind of how I started.
right.
When I was looking for artwork and doing art, I needed good art supplies. I asked my dad, "Hey, Dad, I need like, I wanna take this more seriously. Can I borrow some money to buy like good art materials?" And then when I sell, like as I was selling art, I paid him back, and then I was able to like reinvest that money into buying myself the art materials, and then
There you
it just
go.
kept growing until
Right.
it just snowballed into what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
But like, it is something that you
It's
have
true.
to
Yeah.
invest in yourself. Like
Yeah.
as you're getting better, get like good quality materials, because it's easier to paint with them. Plus, it looks good.
Yeah.
Plus, you can sell it for more,
And it may last longer as
and it
well,
lasts
or,
way longer as
what have
well.
you.
So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. And then, another thing to add to that, don't be maybe afraid of, um, asking for those, using that deposit and figuring those things out so that you can buy the materials
Mm-hmm.
for that next project,
Mm-hmm.
if need be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, because art, like the creative artist wants to create, but you also have to look at the business side of it, because obviously paint costs money,
mhm,
canvases cost money,
right.
time costs money. So you have to be. I'm not saying that you have to be a genius business person, but you have to be savvy enough to be able to see the value that you're putting into your canvas, and making sure that the canvas is of high quality enough so your art can stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to just like get a cheap canvas and put a 200-hour painting on it
Right.
for 10 years from now. The canvas is just falling apart,
Yeah.
and those 200 hours just gone to waste.
Yeah.
uh, but also the other way is true, where don't just buy a $300 canvas and then put a 2-hour painting on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You
use
know,
cheap materials
yeah,
too.
you have to grow, not just grow your skill, but grow your materials as your skills are growing as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like any skills, I mean, a carpenter needs, some good tools, and you're gonna have to invest in them. You're gonna have to take care of them. Those are yours, and but then again, in each project, like I said, like you're gonna need, and don't be afraid to again ask for some money up front, because that's gonna, if you're building a house, you're gonna need to go buy lumber,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like you're not gonna pay for that off your own, like someone has to front that money
Yeah.
to pay for that and what have you. So I think it's a rule of thumb, to practice that as well when you have commissions and things. Plus it also makes everyone more involved. I mean, they're
Mhm.
now,
Yeah.
because otherwise, I feel like, you there's more freedom for you to be stuck with the project at the end, or, what have you. So,
Yeah, and I was recently hearing something about that, where like the old masters, like they had patrons that they would pay for their housing, they would pay for their their basic needs,
you're right.
like, and in exchange the artist would paint portraits of their family, paint portraits, paint murals in their houses, and,
Yeah.
and paint portraits for others, and so having that support system,
Mm-hmm.
and finding good partners to partner with, that, like, yes, they can loan you the money to get the better materials, because they know that you can sell that painting for X amount,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously they can get a return on their investment,
Yeah.
and you are still gonna make money.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
but yeah, and that's why like platforms like even Patreon, that's a great way to have that community supporting you.
Mm.
But again, you also have to be supporting the community. You have to be
Yeah.
consistent in providing something for
Right.
them.
Right.
You know,
That's true.
for their investment. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be like, yes, give me $500, and I'll make maybe a painting,
Yeah.
and then halfway through it's like, yeah, I don't want to do the painting anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, and then what they
Yeah.
want their $500 back. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
already spent it. Like, what?
And like overall too, I mean, there's more to, especially the way, we handle those things as we've grown it and added those things to our repertoire, if you will. But trying to make sure that our next work is, better. Again, improving the materials, but also improving the, you know, the 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 things that go with it. You know what
The
I mean?
skills, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, you're also investing into my website. You're investing into my brand. Like, and my prints are higher quality, like,
Yeah.
again, like, so, and making sure you are delivering or, making that available, that keeps, I feel like, raising the value of you, your work, not only now, your past work. And if you think of like the people that are collecting your work, that gives them more meaning, I feel. So I want to give that to them too. Like to know that, like, you know, there is value to what they have.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's improving it, with every show you do, with every, improvement you make about whatever it is,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where, like, growing as an artist, it's a journey,
yeah.
because obviously it's not gonna happen day to night
Yeah.
or night to day,
Yeah.
or however that saying goes,
I don't know.
something like that,
Morning
But-
to evening.
morning to evening. But so you have to grow. You will have those days where you don't want to do it, and you're gonna have to just continue doing it.
Yeah.
And then those days that you want to do it, like, appreciate those and just keep at it.
Right.
And because like, overall, collectors, they're investing in you, they're investing in your work,
Absolutely. I feel like that.
and
That's
and
why.
they want to see the best out of you,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously they like your work. That's why they're buying it,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want you to just be a one-hit wonder.
Right.
and-
So
and-
when you grow, I feel like for them, it's like, oh my God.
yeah, like,
I
like
I remember them when they were selling their stuff on, here. Like, look at them.
yeah,
I have a Ruano original. Like,
yeah, and even, like, we have a couple friends that, like, when Andy was doing stickers, he was hand drawing on sticker labels, the little tiny robots,
yeah.
and they'll be like, yeah, like, I still have mine, and like, unstuck anywhere. It's like,
Yeah.
it's still in its original package.
Yeah.
and that was like, what, almost 10 years ago.
2012.
Yeah, about 10, a little bit over 10 years ago now, and they're like, oh, I remember when you were a nobody, essentially, but I still have it because I believed in you, and now
Yeah.
look at you. You're doing these bigger paintings and stuff like that. So
It's
So-
incredible.
so
No, nobody with a canvas.
yeah, nobody has a camera. But those collectors, that's what they want to see from their artists,
Yeah.
from the artists that they support, is like, they want to see the best out of you.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Well, there are those, that's why the collectors are the certain people that some people are just, they're like, oh, that's pretty,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was going at, where like, I want to make sure that I keep showing them that there's improvement,
There's
and
value.
to what
Yeah.
they invested in, Yeah.
Yeah, and it is, you do get that, that sense of like satisfaction knowing that like they believed in me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I talked to them once a couple years ago. They bought a little tiny painting,
Yeah.
and then they're coming back like, yes, I still have it. It's it's in my office or whatever.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like yeah, I have one of.
Right.
And they're like, what, really? And but yeah, the community.
Yeah. And I think there's huge satisfaction too for yourself to see how much you can improve your packaging, your what have you, you know. I love seeing, how other people are doing it and want to, again, look more professional,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I mean, it's nicer you whatever it is, whether it's art or, you go, and buy, go to your rodeo or whatever, like there's going to be a lot of, packaging to make you feel like this is what, it's, they've gift bagged it for you, like,
Yeah,
you know,
that
yeah.
for sure. I feel like that's one thing that it's part of the branding aspect that, as
Yeah.
you mentioned. It's
And then other ways of adding value,
yeah, yeah, because even there's been a couple people that um for Andy's smaller pieces, the 4x12, we designed a bag that's specific for that
Yeah.
size,
Yeah.
and then he'll do a hand drawn robot on it and whatnot. And some people not just hang the painting, but they also keep the bag and hang the bag.
Yeah.
And I'm like
I mean, it is
that's
art.
cool, and
Yeah.
it goes to that the packaging.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, that's always something to, continuously look out for. Again, just improving, finding a better, like, oh, now your prints are done on better quality, paper. The paint that you use, it makes a difference. The materials, the brushes, you know. So, take the time to invest into the right things, as you progress. I'm always the one promoting, like, I mean, use what you got too.
Yeah,
By all means, start where you are, use what you got.
You don't
You know.
really need the
But-
most expensive art materials, the most expensive
Yeah.
canvas. But as long as you know how to use them, you could make some cool stuff with decent materials. But
Yeah.
but just keep in mind, the better the materials, the longer it'll last.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
yeah, because ultimately that's what you want. You want longevity.
Mhm.
Hence why we still have Van Gogh's paintings. We still have
Right.
Da Vinci's sketches.
We
Right.
do.
Yeah,
You do, maybe.
I stole them. They're over there in the little box. But like, because they're done not just well, but with good materials.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And on the flip side, don't invest too much if you are just trying it out and you're beginning and what have you. Like, don't go emptying your bank account on, it's okay to use, some stuff. But you'll,
Yeah.
again, as you progress, you'll notice that it's worth getting,
Yeah,
or-
yeah. Grow. Like I said, grow the quality of your materials as the quality of your skills grows.
Absolutely. That's a good
Yeah. T-shirt.
point.
Anybody wants a t-shirt?
T-shirt coming soon.
T-shirt
I see it on
coming
a
soon.
mug, on a nice mug.
Oh, no,
like,
nice. No, we can have
it's a lot of fun, but
I know, right? No,
it has to be on one side and the
yeah.
other. Like, continue.
No,
Flip over on a cassette.
the on some bank pens, the whole thing on the side of the pen.
It's like font point 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, with anime, I do want to do we are a little teetering off towards the end of the main podcast, but because we had some technical difficulties, thanks
do you
to
mean?
some Matrix pizza. That I mean, not pizza. Wait, what? But we'll end this podcast with the Quick and A. You remember the Quick and A?
Oh, I love Quick and A.
The Quick and A. Let's see if your questions and answers fit the questions and answers from the first one.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I'm pretty sure they'll be exactly the same as before. And if they're not, shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. Are you ready?
Ready.
So here we go. Well, again, we always start off with the same ones too, because they're good to start with. Pen or pencil?
Pen.
Ballpoint, gel pen, or fountain pen?
Ballpoint.
No fountain pen.
Or Apple pen.
Apple pen.
Am I matching my answers, or am I?
I
I love them all, but I just love and I remember saying that I just love the simplicity of a good big ballpoint, black or blue.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
It's all about the red one though. Favorite medium?
I think acrylic. Acrylic is my go-to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Favorite shape?
Favorite shape. I don't know. I think I like odd shapes. What's not a shape?
A Tasha Vision. Tasha Vision.
A Tasha shape.
Yes.
Absolutely. Something out of her head.
Like inverted rhombus. Soft pastels or oil pastels?
What?
Soft pastels or oil pastels?
Soft pastels. Soft pastels.
You prefer soft pastels?
Yeah.
Crayola or rose art?
I didn't know what rose art. I got the explanation last time. I only go Crayola.
Yeah.
You should get some like a little thing of rose art.
Yeah.
So you could
rose
see the
art.
difference.
If you're there and things still exist and want to send us some,
yeah,
we will do what we can. We can see what we can do with them.
We'll give you money to not send something.
Yeah, I know, right? Chess or checkers?
Oh, chess.
Chess.
Yes.
Favorite chess piece?
The horse.
The knight.
No, not the knight. The horse.
Or just the horse.
The horsey horse.
The horsey horse. The horsey horse. Yeah.
No.
Favorite store?
Favorite store? Like art store. Any art store. Mostly Blick, I guess. Blick or Michael's.
Blick, please sponsor us, please. Thank you.
Please.
Please. Most used color?
Most used color? I think right now it's shades of purple are really...
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, look at your beanie.
Yeah, even your beanie is like a little, super light lilac
like
purple.
Right? Yeah.
Apple pen or Wacom tablet?
Apple pen.
Have you ever used the Wacom tablet?
I have not. That's the only reason I have to pick that.
It's better.
Better ignorance towards
better sensitivity for the thingamajigs.
Oh, okay.
I said that one. What show are you obsessed with right now, and like in the past?
You know what I was recently just finished, and such a good series was Winning Time on HBO Max.
Who's in it?
It's now just Max.
Oh, Max. Feel free to sponsor us as well.
Who's in it?
It's about the LA Lakers dynasty.
Oh, okay.
Going into the 80s. It's about when Dr. Buss buys the Lakers and acquires Magic and into that dynasty. And went 2 series, and then they didn't get picked up for, continuing on, which is too bad because there was so much more, I feel like, story left. And I learned so much because I wasn't around for that. But, you see this like rivalry between the Lakers and the Celtics, Larry Bird in the picture, with Magic. But it just, the way they told it was really, I learned so much, but it just seemed like it wasn't, you were trying to figure out like, okay, who's telling the story? Who's, how is it cited, or, from whose perspective? Because everyone got it. I mean, everyone, it seemed like unfiltered. They gave the good and the bad, and I had some friends that were in the show, which is great. The Dr. Buss is played by John C. Reilly, who does an incredible job. Yeah. There are some other actors I don't know anything by, big as him, although everyone does a great job. But my friend Sherman, who was a college roommate, does a lot of like body double stuff for TV, for commercials and what have you. He's a 6'7". He played basketball in college, so he does it for body doubles for basketball players. And he did it. He was a body double for Magic in the show. So I would see like little, snippets of things to, what was gonna come, and super excited. And then a high school friend of mine, Devon Nixon, plays his father in the show, which is just
That's
insane.
So cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, so he plays Norm Nixon, who I didn't know this. Again, it's just weird, too young, but I guess he was the man before Magic came, and that was his team basically. He was the point guard, and and again, to the point I just made, like they don't really like let easy on anyone. So Devon is having to play the role of his father, and maybe in times that it doesn't look so great, but that's what the story is, or that's what, and so that's really interesting to see as well. Because I don't think I could do such justice to, I'd feel, but it was a really, really good show, and I really recommend it.
I can dig that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down to watch that. And then as a follow up, even just for that, when it comes to music now, like what music are you listening to? Like what's on your playlist?
Oh man, my playlist is always growing. I mean,
but
if
the most recent add-ons, if anything.
I mean, I'm always looking for. There's really some really great like new R&B coming out, and I keep my ear to that. So, Masego was probably one of the better new up and comers or whatever from this past year. There's a lot of really great female new R&B artists coming out, from Ari Lennox to Snow Allegra to I don't know, but that kind of like I'm into like kind of like R&B. I mean, Anderson .Paak I'm a huge fan of. The Internet, I heard, is like back in the studio, and I can't wait. Sid is amazing. So I don't know, but I could go on forever. I'm really into. I mean, I've been really into what's been going on in Afrobeat the last couple of years too. What's going on with them, Thames, Burna Boy, Wizkid, on and on and on. What's going on in the reggaeton or reggae, whatever the developing is, but it's just it's super exciting to see, and all of those things blending as well, So and it makes me like so excited to know I find an Afrobeat artist, Mr. Easy. He's from Nigeria, but he's from Kenya, but grew up in Nigeria, if I'm not getting it wrong. And I find him, and he's fucking dope. And then I find out, like, J Balvin finds him, and they work together, and it's like, oh my God, how amazing. Two dope ass people found each other, and make magic together.
I can do that. That's cool. Yeah.
That's super exciting for me. I'm such a music head, so.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to kind of like finish off the quick and A with those two, because I know those two are not quick answers.
Yeah.
But they are great answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, with that, thank you for being a part of the show.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
Again, for the audience members, make sure to rate, see how he did on the questions, because I think this was like, especially with the last two answers, like I think he gets an A.
A
or something like that. Yeah.
B- for me, because I'm not too familiar with that, or maybe B- for me, because I'm not familiar, so I should be studying.
Yeah,
I should be studying.
It's like
more more of the music scene.
Hey, I will put a PowerPoint presentation on together.
Well,
No
because it is one
problem.
of those things where like I don't know the artists, but even just with your enthusiasm, like I want to listen to them.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
Like I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
And,
No, it's. I mean, again, I'm always curious about that. I went to Africa this past
You
year.
did, yeah.
Away, so and it's so funny. I mean, I was like already, I'm over there, and like people are like, "How does he know this music?" Like I'm already like singing to the, the music. I don't even know the words, but I'm like,
yeah.
whatever. But I'm such, I'm always looking. My Spotify Wrapped is like always like, all over the place. Like I can't believe you spent this much time on Spotify, you loser. You listen to like 300 genres.
Yeah.
Like
which is good because you don't want to just put yourself in a box and just listen to one. Like no, experiment. Explore, because that's where you'll find those connections, those collaborations that originally like I don't think they would ever work well, and then they do, and like ooh, it works very well.
Yeah. And I like discovering, or my curiosity in old as well as new. There's a lot of stuff I've missed. You know what I mean? Hey, right before this whole thing, David showed me some Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
And I've never heard that. Then I gotta go do my homework. And and I love doing that, and I try to do that with my work too. So like I said, an upcoming project is going to be the Ray Charles. I feel like he's been so instrumental, not only to me, but in music overall. And just one of my favorite artists. I can't believe it's taken me this long. But then I like to, flip back and forth and, okay, do somebody current or more current. And then, try to do,
Yeah.
So I think I'm actually, I started a Moscoso piece, and so that should be coming out pretty soon too. As I said, I think like to me he was one of the top artists last year, or whatever. Everything he does, he's like multi-talented, plays like 11 instruments, writes
at the same time.
Writes and makes a lot of his music and works with everyone. Has worked with so many people, and I mean, the boy just cannot miss. Like.
Yeah.
So, and again, like he travels a lot, he, incorporates a lot of things. And so it just, those kinds of things just are super exciting, and kind of even inspire me in ways to go ahead and explore and try different things. And, yeah.
I can dig that. Yeah. And like I said, thank you even for just being part of the show. And let's explore that. The subscribe button, what?
Hit that like button, subscribe button,
follow button, button. Hit the pancake button and the cupcake button. But
Cupcake
all the links
button.
will be in the description. Be sure to stay tuned for the after show that's coming out next week on a Wednesday, because of Wednesdays. They're the best. Yes, thank you. This
Absolutely.
is Danny Moscoso.
Hey, this is Danny Moscoso. This is the LA Artist Podcast. New show's coming on Wednesday. Subscribe so you don't miss out.
Yes. Andrew Ruano.
Hey, this is Andrew, Ari Studio. Good night.
And I am Mr. David Rano. Sirens are going. You know what that means.
Gotta
It's
go.
Good night time.
For a new location.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the Wayne brothers in living color.
Same time.
More money, more money, more money.
Same time, different location.
Oh,
We got
man,
another
that was a great
satisfied
skit.
customer call.
Oh,
Hey, I think
man.
that's my TV. You have been listening to the LA Artist Podcast. Feel free to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss the latest episode. You can see bonus content on our Instagram at Lorano Gallery, as well as our website, loranogallery.com/podcast. Stay creative Keep creating, and no matter what, be passionate about your art.